What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. So, man, first, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everyone had a safe holidays. And you already know on this channel, I like to bring people on to get their experience on not just what they went through in prison, but what their life was like. You know, a lot of time when people go to prison, it's because they had a rough life, either with family or at home or drugs or whatever the case is. So it's crazy how somebody can go through all that, land up in prison, and then turn their life around. And that's the kind of shit I support, and that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be bringing you guys. We got a lot of fire content coming. But anyways, I'm going to shut up right now, and I'm going to introduce the guest. Actually, why don't you introduce yourself to the subscribers and people at home? What's your name, and where are you from?
I'm Cheyenne. I'm from Denton, Texas.
Okay, that's what's up. So how was life for Cheyenne growing up?
So I'm from Texas, but we quickly, I live in Texas, but we, of course, came as soon as we possibly could. We lived in Nevada previously, and my mom was a madam. She owned a strip club and ran the club, at night, and then ran the girls through the back of it. Fell in love with my dad, and he was a police officer at the time, and after that, of course, that kind of brings heat on everybody. So we got out of Dodge and came to Texas.
So did he meet her at the spot where she... Okay, so well, anyways. So after that happened, like, what was life like growing up then with your mom and the new husband?
So my mom, whenever she owned the strip club, he was also doing it for my grandfather, who is the Oakland chapter leader of the Hells Angels, or he was. And
okay.
Mom's godfather is Sonny Barger, and he's a co-founder of the Hells Angels. So, when we grew up, my mom only raised us with what she knew, and that was first, questions later. And it was very much so a zero tolerance home. And, so at 14, my aunt had come down to visit. And of course, my aunt knew how my mom was, and she knew that he took to my grandfather's ways when it came to disciplining. And she came down, we had gone to the store to go pick up a script, and she handed me a pill, and, which was hydrocodone. And she's like, well, here, maybe you'll like going home now. And from there, it was off the races. And it was all that I knew until, I was 18. I had a son. Everything was fine, great and wonderful. But I met my daughter's father, and he knew how he was into meth. He'd already done time for it. And he just told me, this is just the one thing, like, if this is, all that I want for my happiness, if you could just do this, just let me do this. I'll go to work. I come home, I'll take care of you. I'll provide for you. Just don't take this from me. And real quick from there, we were batching because he wasn't, going to go to anybody when he knew how to make it. So he taught me to make it. And of course, in and out, there were small charges that happened. I knew how to, like I said, I knew how to hide my shit. So I'm not going to ever get caught with dope when I know what to do.
Right.
my dude get caught with it either. So, it would be something petty, and that I would have to take a charge for, always misdemeanors. But after he left the last time, and my real big charges started coming, it was because of the, I tried to run him off the road. And so, yeah, I was just, I was out for blood, and it's I'm coming for you. I'm tired of being done like this. I'm tired of being the stay-at-home wife that, the dope world is very different than the regular day-to-day life. And
very different.
You're very naive to think that you can have your man and you do dope and not get caught up in there. You can't do it, especially when you're making it.
Yeah. Because then the supply is unlimited, really.
Yes. And that's when
how long was it after you met him and you were in that life where you were like, like you were fully addicted to methamphetamine? Like how long did that take for that to happen?
He had to actually withdraw me off of the hydrocodones with it. So after that, it was, well, as much as I liked hydrocodones, this I can get all the time because we make it. And now that I know, and it was so he, and in his warped mind, he's like, oh, this is going to get you off of that. It's going to make you better. It's fine.
Damn.
And yeah, no. And
yeah, that ain't working like that. You just graduated is what happened.
True story, no lie. But so I tried to run him off the road. I'm tired of the dope wars at this point. I'm tired of me being the young naive girl that you thought was going to stay at home and raise the kid and had the family life for you while you're out there running game, and all these girls are coming to me. So
they're letting you know that they're sleeping with him.
Oh yeah, because at the time we worked at Little Caesars. It's Little Caesars Pizza. And so during the day we'd sell pizzas. I'd hire the girls to come work for us. At night after the shop closed, we'd go and we'd bash it open the back. So, but it worked because it never made me bring it to my house where at the time my son was. But the dope world got crazy. I ended up losing my son. And from there was just so much anger built up within that I just started, look, either you're going to be with me and we're going to do this right, or I'm coming for you. and I was so naive to think, that it could ever work like that. But in my broken little mind, that's what I thought. He was also 13 years older than me too. So,
so he kind of manipulated you then into really doing what he wanted you to do.
Yes.
So when you were doing the meth, like, how did it become a problem with you? Because I know people that have been on meth and, they stay up for 2-3 weeks at a time. Some of them pick their face apart. Some of them, take apart shit and try to put it back together. Like what was your high like? That was you, the put back together?
So I got so caught up into the stuff that I knew that he was lying to me about.
You became obsessed with finding out shit.
The world, this is supposed to run this way. I've never done this before, so I've relied on your word for so long, and you still want me to be this go-getter mom and this go-getter wife and all these great amazing things. You're out there selling dope out the back of your car, bro. Like, come on now. So
you got pretty hip to the game then quick, right?
Real quick. It went from me. But once I got equipped to it, and I didn't do it with his help, I did it by myself, and I did it by my damn self. And once I did, it was either you're going to understand that I'm here no matter what, or I'm going to quit taking charges all of a sudden and making you understand that, no, I'm going to let them search you instead of saying, oh, no, that was me. And
yeah.
From there, it was, we were both doing it. But after having my daughter, it was just a completely different world. And but we had separated, like I said, for the last time, and he was leaving us. And I'm like, I'm not going through this again. Tried to run him off the road. Ended up going, I'm not going to let him get caught for what he has in his car. So I'm going to tell them, look, I have it all. It's on me. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then they ended up, they let him go. And of course he came, he bailed me out. But from there, that's where the charges started. I only did, a couple hours in, and each time that I went, no matter what. But the time before I went to prison, I had, at that point, my sister, I'd gone to go over to see my sister, and she had every drug but meth. But because my family knew my history, that was the one thing that wasn't allowed. You can snort some coke, but no meth. No, don't roll a bowl. And she saw me doing it, called the cops, and it was the one time I couldn't do anything else because it was already in it's like a little mini bolo. And so I stuck it in my bra, and I went to go open the door because I was sitting, my sister had all my stuff in her house, and I couldn't even get my keys, couldn't do anything to leave. So I'm just sitting in my car pretty much. And so the cop comes over because I was trying to stay warm, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna need you to step out. And sure enough, as soon as I opened the door, it trickled down my hoodie, and it was like as if I was handing it to him.
Damn, that's crazy.
Man, I am cold. Take me to jail. I'm done with this. Like, over it. I ended up getting locked up. I had, but at this point, I knew I had things. I was on probation for this, probation for this. You know, I knew what was coming next. So I loaded 5 Gs on my books and knew that I was going to, you know, sit, get fat, and be happy. And
so this was your first time in jail spending more than a couple hours.
yeah. But you know what though, is when I'm telling you, when I hit that mat, I slept like I have never slept before. But now grant you, I didn't wake up till almost like 2 weeks later.
Damn, you were going hard out there, huh?
I mean, yeah, it's very different when you can make your drug versus when you have to go buy from the dope man. Well, no, fuck having a dope man. I'm gonna make it myself. I ain't selling no pussy.
Yeah.
So today, I'll learn how to make it, and I'm gonna go from there. I ain't trying to have no middleman, no somebody to tell me what to do or make me do something I ain't cool with, or and have me end up in a bad situation. I'm good.
Yeah. and, so did you see that go on a lot too? Like when you were out in the street, like young girls just getting turned out left and right?
Oh, I've been there, you know, and it sucks, but my dude was into stuff. And in order to keep my dude happy at this time, I'm running full game with him. So you want drugs, you better walk it like a dog. Like, and
yeah.
That's what it became. And then it wasn't because that's what I thought was amazing and great and wonderful. No, right. It was me unhappy, and this is the only way that he's gonna stick around. And when you're young like that and you feel like you need somebody else to love yourself so you can love you, it tends to make you do some things that are against your better judgment.
Yeah, facts. All right, so you're in jail. Now, what was jail like for you once you woke up 2 weeks later, got over your shit and everything? Like, you know, everybody gets into a routine, like everybody's jails are different, you know, and how was it in Texas for you when you started doing time for the first time?
So when I really did it, it was, you really become aware of what's around you, and either somebody, as soon as you wake up there and you're really alert, it's all right, how can we either take advantage of her, what can we get from her, or how can we get her out of here? And so
Thanks.
But because they started seeing commissary come in, and you know, they started seeing that I have takeout being coming because we were housed with the feds. The feds automatically get amenities that regular county jails that don't house federal inmates get. And so we had different takeout being sent in every day. And it was a freaking cakewalk there, you know, but I had guards. I mean, one guard, you know, they come through, they know who I am because they know that with me, I have the most commissary coming through.
So you got a bunch of new friends
everywhere.
And yeah, that's vultures in Florida. You know, we call them seagulls. Every time commissary hits, it's call, because everybody flying in to get some shit from you.
Yeah, and that's just it. We call them commissary hoes and let me just tell you, they will do something for a Twinkie.
Yeah, do something strange for some change. So did you see a lot of that going on in jail? Like, you know, girls hooking up with girls and building families?
Once you get to your unit, you're either fighting or you're fucking. If you're fighting, it's because you were fucking. So either you're doing that or you're riding your bunk. So I just learned real quick, if I'm gonna make it in here, and there was only like 2 girls that I was really down for, but I knew one of them was already going down for murder, and one of them was already hitting life for how many licks she hit before. They offered 40, and they offered the other one 20. So I already knew there wasn't going to be a chance, you know. And the other one you know, things change afterwards, but nonetheless, at that point in time, I really thought that nothing was going to change with that. So, and it was those were the 2 that I was going to rock for, whether we were together or not. Like, I have love for you no matter what. But
right.
There wasn't like, oh, I'm going to hop girl to girl. No, I have money. I can take care of myself. What do you bring to the table? You know,
so would you say that's why there's so many girls hooking up with girls, is because it's girls with no money in there that are trying to do some shit to get taken care of and shit?
With girls, it's not even like that. With girls, there is a codependency. There is a codependency. It doesn't matter whether you have nothing or not. You're a good conversation. You can ease some pain that they might have. It is a codependency issue through and through. But the second you don't meet a need that they have, okay, cool, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how life is too, if you think about it. The world we live in today, anyways. So when you were in the jail, how long did you actually do in jail this time before? I'm taking it you went to prison from this jail bid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I did 7 months in the county, and then once I transferred from there, it was like, oh dang, I'm actually in prison, because at the county was small. You know, Parker County is not real big. It's right outside of Fort Worth, and you begin to be cool. And when you have cops, you know, passing, it goes from cops passing stuff for you. And I was having dope sent in. You know, I had a cakewalk there. But once you really get to, you know, and you always start out with going to like a state jail to get, you know, medical and everything else. It's all of a sudden you're in this strange zone. Like I've been cakewalking it for this long, and now all of a sudden I'm in the world that nothing is the same here. And you know,
what would you say is the biggest difference from when you went to prison to from when you were in county jail? Like when you got to prison, what was like the crazy thing that stood out to you that made it so different, other than it just being like the unknown?
Instantly you walk in and you're going in to check in, let them know, hey, you know, this inmate's here, and they're, you know, you're getting your little moo gowns, you're getting your socks, or, you know, whatever. Having to see the people that come in, because they already come in talking about their charges, and if you ain't talking about your charges, what you here for, we're gonna find out, you know. And there is no option to keep it quiet, because if you're keeping it quiet, how shady are you? How much
what do you got to hide?
Yes. So I think it was seeing going in there, you know, there's always those inmates that they bring in that, you know, you have to turn your back to the wall because they don't want you to see that inmate, because you might set a hit out on them. And that's what they did. It was, hey, face to the wall, don't look. Well, of course, if that's the case, we already know what you're here for. And it turned out that the girl was there for molesting her 4-month-old baby girl, and with her boyfriend, and YouTubing it. And so she was, I mean, obviously doing life without parole, but it was already a known fact. And
that's fucking disgusting.
Amazed on what even the guards aren't even
Damn, bro.
Understand that they have a job, but they also know if that was their kid, you'd end up you're gonna get got.
Yeah, they're getting hell from both sides, the guards and the inmates. So, and they deserve every bit of that hell too.
So she ended up and now, but when you're surrounded by that many guards, what are you gonna do? So it ended up being later on down the hallway that they don't care, that they're doing real time anyways. They didn't do baby time like mine was, you know, a 2-3 year stint. They don't they had time to do. So let me go ahead and make, you know, this known. And she ended up getting jumped, but nothing more happened than that, because she gets put in segregation. And
so the guards basically checked her in after she got jumped.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, if it'd be different if there's put her in our dorm when nobody's looking. Put her around when there ain't 12 at the door staring at us. You know what I mean? Then comes. But it's very different when you're in check-in and whatnot. And then going into the dorms, you know, it's automatically you keep to yourself, or you better show that you have something to prove, and you better be able to prove it. And I mean, I've seen a girl get beat with a plastic mug. I mean,
the whole plastic mug. Yo, them things do damage, bro. Them things do damage. Them shits ain't even fucking off, man. I've seen dudes get their whole shit split open from them things.
You know, and it's crazy because you would think that, yes, what girls' prisons are different from guys' prisons. Absolutely. The fighting, not the animosity. Girls get in a bad mood, they go cry in the corner. You know what I mean? But there are those girls that you come across. Oh, there was this one girl, she was doing 30 years. And she come over to my bunk in the morning. And big old girl. And she come in and she started, I'd be sleeping, and she'd come in and put her hand up my shirt like, you a whole snack. And
she trying to eat it up.
Man, I'm telling you. And I'm like, look, you ever wake up in my bed again? Or I ever wake up with you in my bed again?
Yeah.
Happen. I'm telling you once, get the fuck out of my bed. And instantly, oh, you got problems? I was like, you want to make something of it? Let's do it. Because I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But there's only, with the girls, they tend to, as soon as they see something that is more intimidating than them, especially when you're on, like you said, JIT unit. They tend to be like, oh, okay, don't bark up that tree, you know. But
Right.
there was only one time that and even then I didn't have to get into the fight because the girl automatically knew that
Yeah, you weren't sweet. She couldn't try you like that.
Yeah, when I tell you keep my name out your mouth, that I will meet you in the showers. I'm not saying I'll meet you there on a friendly basis. I'll wait till you're in the showers and I'm coming for you. I'm not gonna I'm gonna come when nobody's looking. And please believe, I hope you understand, I'm the only one walking out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna do my time and be a punk too.
Did you end up like getting a girl that kind of rode out with you when you were in there? Because that goes on a lot in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
So there was one, and man, a little stud brush. She was adorable. Looked like a little black-haired Justin Bieber. You know,
a little stud. Studs.
But I already knew what it was for a stud going up in the prison system. Every girl's gonna holler at you. Every girl wants the closest thing to a dude. Every girl wants to make sure that you know that you had them and whatever. But there was an understanding between us that I'm gonna rock for you whether we're in here. I'm gonna rock for you whether we're out of here. I don't care if I'm together with you. I don't care if you're eating out some other girl. Just understand we have a love that like I got you, and that's just what it was. And then after she ended up getting out. She ended up doing like 9 years on a voluntary involuntary manslaughter, and you know, but when she got out, I mean, kind of ruined things. You know, she slept with my sister, but it's all right.
Damn, she slept with your, like when she got out, went to your house, and how'd she even meet your sister?
My sister lives right across the apartments from me, or did, and she came over to meet her, and I told her, I was like, babe, I got work in the morning, like I have to go to sleep. And at this point she had just got out, and so she's like, well then hey, your sister's here, like let's hang out. Well, they drank, and of course, you know,
damn, keeping it right in the family. So when you were in there, like when you were in prison in Texas, like what did you witness as far as like the guards, as far as corruption goes, as like inmate like brutality? Like what was the craziest shit that you saw go on?
I was surprised to see how cool the guards were with me. Like I'm telling you,
was this a male guard or a female guard that you're talking about?
Female guard. I mean,
okay.
But you'd be, and I mean, there were a couple male guards, but only on the girls that they know that they're, you know what I mean, like.
Right.
They're looking for trouble. They're only going to go after the girls that, okay, I know this girl's down for some shit. With the girls that they think that, oh well, you know, she might keep it quiet, but really, you know. But with the female guards, it is a completely separate story. I like the one guard that I'd had, like I said, she was passing stuff for me through the county. I had her. They always had to bring me my commissary, and I was always the worst one that they had to come see because they had to count out all my shit. Well, I have $200 worth of shit here. How much you? And so they begin to hate it. So I'm like, all right, well, hey, let's just talk while you're here. What's up?
Yeah. And, so were you trying to like have a relationship with the guard, or were you just being friendly?
No, at this point, I'm trying to get somebody on my team that's down for whatever that I'm down for. If it ends up being whatever's gonna benefit me in whatever way it's gonna benefit.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, at first she was like, man, I see all the money that's on your books. Why aren't you bonding out? And I'm like, because I know where I'm going. I know what's going to happen for me. What am I going to do? Bond out, go rebuild a life, and then go back and get sent to prison? And I was like, where am I going to live? With you? And she goes, yeah, like, duh.
Oh, so she was trying to pull the okie doke and have you start a family when you get out and shit.
And then, you know, at that time, it was just she had the same kind of outlook that I did. She'd already married a convict from the last prison, and they were married. So more just like I'm down for you. I see that, you know, it was more like I know you're real, and I was like, I know you're crooked, so what's good? But you know,
hey, I can't blame you. You did your thing.
It became really easy to have stuff transfer back and forth, whether I wanted it to be to a dude. But the girl that I ended up seeing on the outside of prison, I did time with her in county and at my unit. So at the county is where I got to time, but once we went to our unit, it was like, I understand there's gonna be other bitches, nor do I care. Just understand when you get out, I'm gonna be there. And but whatever.
Yeah, that didn't happen. So, all right. So you're in prison now in Texas. Like, what's your plan for when you're getting out? Because it's hard for people that get out to nobody or nothing, and that's how a lot of people fall back into the same cycle of bullshit. And that's what causes recidivism. So, did you have a plan for when you were getting out, or were you kind of just winging it?
Getting out, I didn't know. I really thought that I was like, I didn't know if I was going to get high again. And because I've been an addict since I was 14, I really thought that I was going to get out, go use. And it scared me a lot, actually. And, but coming home the very first night, and my daughter's father hit me up, and he's like, hey, we're at the hotel. Like, me and Addie, being my daughters, like, we're about to get you, and we're going to come do a big. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, my daughter is at the hotel with you and you're partying?
Yeah.
And like, well, she's not in the same room. And are you kidding me? And from there, it was just an automatic stance of, it was like mom over mode. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I would have done damage if he was in front of my face. And it was, from there, I got full custody, and, it's just me and her now, but I think a lot of people have that whenever you're in prison, that you really don't know. Like, you want to think that you're going to do the best, but it's really hard, especially when you're coming back to the same city that you were in. That, like, dang, I didn't go to Walmart for almost a month by myself because I made my mom go everywhere with me because I was afraid that I was going to see somebody that knew me from that life. And that makes it hard.
If there was, like, let's say a 16-year-old girl, right? And she's sitting in front of you and she's caught a couple charges already, kind of going down the same deal with the drugs and just kind of going through it. Like, since you've already been through all that, what do you think you would tell that person sitting in front of you to stop them from wanting to continue doing that shit?
I think I would tell her, whether you go to rehab or whether you end up in jail or prison, whatever decisions that you make, the only one that's going to help you is the Lord, and that it takes giving over your own self-control and your desires to say, Father, I can't make the right decision. I need you to make it. And I think that you'd be amazed on what he could do when you really give him that control.
Yeah, amen. So would you say that not only like your daughter and God are really what made you want to change your life around?
No, I let me just tell you, I went in fully pissed. Now, mind you, my family already had a relationship with Christ, already shoved it down my throat, already wanted me to live the right way. I didn't get a relationship with him until well after I got out. In fact, they tried to do Bible study with me while I was locked up, and I'm like, look, I know where God's at. He knows where I'm at. He wants to say something. He better show up. He better bring a burning bush. And so much anger that I had, and so much grief through my son that I never even grieved, that when I did fully surrender once, and it was well after I got out, that, man, it changed my outlook on everything. But I still, to this day, I think prison, as much as it sucked going through it, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was my rock bottom. But damn it, I dug from there, or I quit digging from there and started climbing up.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. That's what I say. Like, I don't wish prison on anybody. I don't even like the fact I've been, but when I look back on things now, like, it really helps you appreciate all the small shit. You always hear people say, that make $100,000 a year, oh, the struggle's real, da, 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 da. But like, do you really know the struggle? Because when you've been in those kind of trenches and in that hell and in that atmosphere, like, you really appreciate the small shit. And just like what you're saying, just to get out, be able to have your daughter, go to church, live a normal life. Like, for people like you and me, that's something to be proud of. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people get stuck in that life and they can never change. So I salute you for changing your life around and being there for your kid and everything. So if you could say anything to the subscribers or anyone watching, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, coming out, you hit the ground running, and you don't stop until you realize 10 years have passed or 5 years have passed, or where did this go? Where did that go? But when I got out, I had a great opportunity before me to where my daughter now, I not only have full custody of my daughter, but I work 2 incredible jobs. I work one Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and then I work one on Sunday. My brings home is over $4,000 a month, and that's bring home. It is so possible. Like,
Yeah.
it's as hard as they say that it is for convicts when you get out, it's only going to be as hard as you make it. Life is a prison sentence. Life in itself is a prison sentence. How do you want to spend it? How do you want to spend your time?
Yeah.
So I think that in general, I would just want to say that, man, there is so much. You just have to want it.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. You got to want it, man. That's the only way you're going to get it. Nobody's going to hand you anything in life. You got to go out there and grab that shit. But hey, I just want to thank you for coming on the channel, sharing your story and everything. I know that takes a lot of guts and courage to do that. And I definitely salute the fact that what you're doing with your life. And so, hey, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, show some support. I got fire content coming, dropping, every week. We're doing big things here, man. So make sure you're a part of the movement. And I just want to thank everybody that's already subscribed. Yo, I appreciate you. And I'm super grateful that y'all are rocking with me this far. So that's it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. And with that, it's DOC TV, and we're out.